Hi guys. After reading a lot about SangYoon's scandal and seeing both his apology and his response to the rumors, I honestly told myself I'd cut back on talking about the show. I've always wanted to stay true to my emotions when I post, and this whole situation left me feeling uncertain. But before stepping away from a show I've loved so much, I decided to give SangYoon the benefit of the doubt, and actually dig into the details myself to see if there's any truth to the rumors. And surprisingly, it started to feel like SangYoon might actually be telling the truth. Maybe all this really was a huge misunderstanding. Let's recap real quick. SangYoon's been under fire for allegedly dating someone during the filming of the show. Fans pointed out that this rumored girlfriend had photos taken in the same locations as him. They were reportedly on the same yacht. Attended the same G-Dragon concert. It really looked like they were dating. This all blew up after a fan from a certain web channel first spotted the similarities and posted, "Is it right for someone in a relationship to appear on a dating reality show?" Most people brushed it off as baseless slander, but then more evidence surfaced, until it became too loud to ignore. Even I started to believe it, because at first glance, everything lined up a little too well. But then SangYoon made a long IG story post, apologizing to fans who were disappointed and asking people to stop spreading false narratives. So, I decided to check it all out for myself. And since I talked about it before, I think it's only fair that I also share what I found, so you guys can make your own call. Let's start with the G-Dragon concert. Here's what's interesting, both SangYoon and the rumored girlfriend posted their videos from the concert. But if you look closely, they were not seated together. SangYoon's video shows he was up close to the front. He was even dancing hard and singing with his male friend in one of those clips. The lady's video showed she was way in the back, and you can even see in her 360-degree footage that SangYoon's seat wasn't anywhere near hers. If they were together, wouldn't they have sat at least near each other? Plus her video also showed everyone sitting next to her, but there are no signs of SangYoon. Next is the Thailand trip. Here's what I observed. It was a trip with 4 friends, 2 guys, 2 girls. They all follow each other and interact openly on Instagram. SangYoon's male friend even posted a sweet message under one of their shared videos from Thailand, saying, "I was so happy, SangYoon. I mean it." To which SangYoon replied, "Me too." It almost made me think that SangYoon probably suggested that trip to him, for him to be showing appreciation in that manner. That sounds like appreciation between close friends, not a secret romantic getaway. Now let's talk about the infamous camcorder that people said belonged to SangYoon. It didn't. It was clearly his friend's, because he, the male friend, was the one filming with it, posting from it to Instagram, and even using it in front of Waterun in Bangkok. The rumored girlfriend used it once too on the yacht, so that doesn't prove much. If you're wondering how I knew the friend owned the camcorder besides the pictures, here is an interesting interaction they all had on one of the male friend's posts. Let's just call his male friend Mr. W. So, Mr. W captioned his post stating, "Last Thailand upload," SangYoon replied with, "Already?" Mr. W replied with, "I thought it was over, but there's one last camcorder clip left." Then this rumored girlfriend commented on Mr. W's post with, "What? No, give us more." Then Mr. W replied to her stating, "Just one shot left from the camcorder lol." So now, you understand why I say that specific camera belonged to his friend and not him. The cameras SangYoon used were completely different, as you can see. He had this silver one and the black ones, but they are not camcorders. And there's even more to suggest it was just a group trip. The ladies captioned one of their photos and tagged it with #BestieTrips, while the guys wrote, "The men's happy friendship trip." Everyone was in the same places, eating street food together, and sharing laughs. In fact, the second female friend, not the rumored girlfriend, shared the same location shots, showed pictures of the same alligator grill they had, and even made nearly identical captions to SangYoon on her page. She recommended Rambutri Road as a better place for introverts than Kaesan Road, and SangYoon wrote the exact same opinion, almost word for word. The major difference was that SangYoon added, "If you're a couple or someone like me, capital I, head straight to Rambutry Road nearby." Now, this line can be read two different ways. On one hand, he clearly calls himself an introvert, so it sounds like he's listing two types of people, couples and introverts, who would enjoy the quieter vibe of Rambutry. That would actually suggest he wasn't there as a couple, but just speaking generally. But at the same time, the phrasing could come off a bit ambiguous. By saying if you're a couple or someone like me, it's almost like he groups himself in with couples, which, especially with the current dating rumors, might raise some eyebrows. But it also seems like he separated himself as just an introvert on a trip. So yes, it's one of those, interesting choice of words, moments. It doesn't prove anything, but it definitely opens the door for different interpretations depending on how closely you're reading. Next up is the yacht. From what I've seen, all four friends were on that yacht together. They also seem to enjoy. The yacht itself appears to be the same, the colors, the cushions, everything matches. Even the pillows has "You only live once" written on them. This looked very much like a trip for four friends, not just two. And when a friend commented, "Wait, you said you were going on a trip, but you came back with a whole photo shoot?" SangYoon replied, "I went to do the photo shoot and traveled while I was at it." Which actually makes a lot of sense. Most of the people on this trip are models and influencers, except for his male friend who seems to be in the music industry. So it's entirely possible this started off as a work trip and naturally turned into a fun getaway. Let's talk about that hotel room. SangYoon shared a room with his male friend. There's even a photo of them lying on the same bed. Another thing, both SangYoon and that second female friend posted about the same spot in Seoul, with similar photos. So if sharing a location means dating, are we going to say he's dating the second female friend too? Now, let's talk about the strongest rumor. It's the one where SangYoon took photos in front of a cafe that looked very similar to where the rumored girlfriend also snapped hers. Their location seems to be the same, and not only that, there's also that dinner photo, same steak, same burner, same dishes. All appearing in the same photo collage on both of their pages. It really does look like they dined together. I won't deny that. But let's be honest, some of us do go out for lunch with friends of the opposite sex, right? Which could be the case here. Also, SangYoon seems like a pretty smart guy, so, if he was secretly dating someone, would he really post something that obvious when he knows the dating show he was on was still airing? That would be either wildly careless, or just plain S-word. Either way, this is the one detail I can't confidently explain away, but it still doesn't prove anything. That said, he's been interacting with both of these women's posts for over a year now, just like he's done with Hanol. At this point, I think it's safer to say SangYoon simply has a wide circle of friends, both male and female. A lot of dating show cast members seem to follow him on Instagram too, including Xian from Singles Inferno 4. So, could this all just be a case of misjudged friendships? Now, am I still disappointed about all of this? Yes, but not in the way I was at first. My bigger issue is with the production team. They really should have established firmer guidelines for the cast while the show was airing. On many other dating shows, the cast either isn't allowed to access their social media at all, or they're asked to keep things private, unfollow each other temporarily, or avoid posting too much about their activities. Most of the other members have been pretty low-key during this time, but SangYoon has been posting actively, including trips with friends that could be easily misinterpreted, especially when those friends are women. And that's where I think the production dropped the ball. The show relies on the audience trusting the process and the cast's integrity, so clear direction should have been given to help avoid exactly this kind of confusion. Still, after looking into everything, I can confidently say I'm back to reacting to the show with full interest. For the most part, this all seems to have been a misunderstanding. I really hope the production team doesn't reduce or cut off his screen time on the show because of the rumors. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, please subscribe and like the video.